The only way that you can go into a movie blind is by not having seen it beforehand. By their very nature, movies are a visual experience, something that the eyes can enjoy in a smorgasbord of light, color, and the miraculous. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, then let's take a moment to open our own eyes nice and wide. While movies are primarily made to tell a story, there's nothing that says they can't look good while doing it. An interesting film is nice to watch, but a beautiful film is never forgotten. As more films are pumped into the cultural bloodstream every year, one way that many creators try to distinguish their films is through the visual aspect. Every film could have the same color palette. It's not the number one priority to work on, but then it would look just as appealing as the latest news from Fox or CNN. Diversity is a needed piece of the film experience, and color is no exception. But this reality was only truly realized after one film in particular set the bar: The Wizard of Oz. Being the first major motion picture filmed in color, it took the US by storm the moment that Dorothy landed in Oz, and the colors shifted from a pasty, bland beige to reds, yellows, greens, blues, and more. Before this, films were in black and white, and color wasn't an issue for people. There was no alternative. Our culture nowadays even distinguishes old movies from newer movies by whether they had color. Sometimes their entire choice of movie is based on the presence of colors alone. But the moment that Dorothy's house touched down, black and white films started the countdown to when they'd have to hand the crown over to a novelty turned royalty. But don't think that killed them for good. They're still holding out. Black and white films still release today, with some having big-name directors behind them, showing that when it's done tastefully, it can stand out brilliantly against other films, like Steven Spielberg's Schindler's List, or soon-to-be Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Man, I hope we can actually hear the people talking this time. Turning to the other colors, what's the thought process when color is pondered over in a film? Color is the main contribution to the visual design of a movie, much more than shapes or styles. It's the first thing our eyes see, and it's a major way of how our human vision naturally separates the various distinctions of the world in 3 dimensions. As such, directors can do a lot of things with the differences and similarities of colors. Using a device known as a color wheel, they can accurately pinpoint which colors would mix the best or contrast the most when they need to use them. Often color schemes will be selected to provide a mood for the film that matches the look. These palettes are pre-made by color specialists who know what kind of mixes and matches can elicit reactions from the audience. Of course, this doesn't always work out. Many films often can feel oversaturated or undersaturated. And there's always that dreaded orange and blue colorization that every action blockbuster in the 2010s thought looked cool, but really was kinda garbage. It's like the Axe body spray of movie colors. That's not to say that orange and blue don't work well with each other. In fact, it's because they do work so well in contrast that directors and editors use it all the time. But overindulgence in anything is just too much. Certain colors elicit certain reactions. Pixar's Inside Out is the easiest example of this I've ever seen, with anger being red, joy being yellow, sadness blue, and so on. The colors match their personality because that's what we believe those colors to represent naturally. We see red cheeks blushing from love or embarrassment, kids play happily outside in the bright yellow sunlight, and spring is full and lively when we see green leaves and grass dotting the countryside. The meaning of all these colors can enhance and convey so much additional meaning within a single shot. The reason being is because of our psychology. Since one of our 5 senses is innately sight, that means that color, as a result, plays a big portion in how we observe and think about the world. We distinguish differences between ourselves, others, and the world around us through colors that we perceive. When it comes to the movie industry, it's up to the producers, editors, cinematographers, directors, and whoever else might be involved with the process of coloring to be able to figure out what will work best not only for the purpose of their story, but to also touch the minds and the hearts of those who are watching the story play out in the first place. So as we watch a film and feast our eyes on the many sights that can be offered through the lens of a camera, let us remember that what we see on the screen is only a sliver of what can really be offered in the wide world around us. We live on a marvelous creation, and we are truly blessed to be able to see it come alive. As Wassily Kandinsky once said, color is a power which directly influences the soul.